Okay, so this is a very important part of your revision. This video is going to cover cross-tense practice, so 3 tenses. Specifically in this video, the present tense, the past tense and the future tense. As you know, you need to be able to use the 3 tenses to be successful in your GCSE, not just in French, but in any of the languages. Okay, revising this will help you revise for both the writing part of your exam and the speaking part of your exam. So for those of you who find the grammar difficult, it might be a good idea to concentrate on a few key verbs. Now, in any given question that you're likely to be asked in speaking or in writing, there are enough verbs here for you to be able to produce a response in whichever tense is necessary. So we have here the verb jouer, regarder, visiter, rester, aller and sortir, some of which are regular verbs and some of which are irregular verbs. Let's focus on the present tense first, and then we'll come to the others after. Have a look at the infinitive verbs that are already there. Now think about whether you know what they are in the present tense form, and for now we'll focus on the je form of the verb. Have a think about that for 10 seconds. Okay, what you should have correctly identified is je joue is the present tense form for jouer, using the je part of the verb. Je regarde is the present tense for the verb regarder. As you then may be able to guess, je visite for the verb visiter. Je reste for the verb rester. Aller is irregular, which is why it's underlined. So this is one of the ones that you have to learn, because as you can see from the ones above, it doesn't follow the pattern. So je vais is the present tense form of aller, I go. And the last one, je sors, is the present tense je form of sortir. Again, this is an irregular verb in this tense, in this form. And it is worth knowing that one, because chances are, if you're asked a question such as, what do you normally do at the weekend? You're probably going to want to say that you go out with your friends. And in which case, you're going to need je sors in order to be able to say that. Okay. Right, now I want you to have a look at the past tense column and think about, first of all, the 2 key things that we need in the past tense column that we don't currently have in the present tense column. So 2 key things that make the verb look different and that make the verb sound different. Have a think about that for 10 seconds. Okay, so if we have a look at the first one and have a look at the difference. Looks different and it sounds different. So before, in the present tense, we were saying je joue, so short, sharp sounds, whereas now we're saying j'ai joué, j'ai joué. And the J apostrophe AI, the j'ai part, means I have. The E accent at the end of the verb, the bit that gives us the A sound, j'ai joué, is the English equivalent to our AD. I have played, j'ai joué. Following the same pattern then would be the next one, j'ai regardé, and also j'ai visité. Now, you've got to be careful with the next one because the 3 that you've already got on the screen, they work with avoir in the past tense. So they look like that because the AI, it means have. I have visited, I have watched, I have played. The following three verbs use être in the past tense. And there is a revision video on this if you're unsure about it, but if you just want to learn these phrases off by heart, then you need to know that the following is true. Je suis resté. I stayed. Je suis allé. I went. Je suis sorti. I went out. And again, they're important verbs, especially the bottom two, if you're going to have to answer the question, what did you do at the weekend? Or even, where did you go on holiday? What did you do on holiday? Okay, so if we have a look at the third column, the near future. So the near future is when we talk in English about I'm going to do something. I am going to play. I am going to stay. I am going to go out. Now, we actually need a verb to help us form this that we've already seen on this screen so far. We need a part of the verb aller, and then we need an infinitive verb after it. So for the first one, for the verb jouer, in the near future, we would be saying je vais jouer. And what you're actually saying there is I am going to play. Je vais jouer. I am going to play. Je vais regarder. I am going to watch. Je vais visiter. I am going to visit. Je vais rester. I'm going to stay. Je vais aller. I'm going to go. Je vais sortir. I'm going to go out. That tense, that future tense, is perfectly acceptable as an expression of the future tense. So if you find that one easy to use, then use that one. The other version of the future tense only has two parts to it, except it has an ending on the end of the verb. So let's have a look. So for the first verb, jouer, je jouerai. So the AI on the end of that verb there is the bit that means will, because what we're saying is, I will play. The AI translates the English word for will, I will play, as opposed to the one before it, je vais jouer, I am going to play. The next one, je regarderai, je visiterai, je resterai, j'irai. Now again, this one is irregular, and you'll notice that the ending's not irregular. It's actually the beginning of this verb which is irregular, the bit that we call the stem. J'irai, I will go. Je sortirai, I will go out. Notice that when I'm pronouncing those phrases, I'm not saying je jouerai, je regarderai. It's not an I sound, it's an E sound. Je resterai, j'irai, je sortirai. Okay, so let's put these into a bit of practice. Take 1 minute to have a look at the time phrases on the left-hand side of the screen. You should know what all of these phrases are. So have a look at them quickly and make sure you know what they all are. I will give you a clue in that these words are some of them, but they are not matched up. Okay, so they are all scrambled. Okay, you should have correctly identified le week-end dernier, last weekend, demain, tomorrow, d'habitude, usually, la semaine prochaine, next week, hier, yesterday, aujourd'hui, today, l'année dernière, last year, tous les jours, every day, normalement, normally. Okay, this is what I would like you to do to practice. After this, after I've explained this, I'd like you to pause this video and have a go at these exercises. In question 1, the tense that is required is the present. In question 2, the tense that is required is the past. And in question 3, the tense that is required is the future. The red bits are bits of vocabulary which I've given to you at the bottom because I wasn't sure whether you would know what they are or not. So pause the recording, take as long as it takes for you to construct these sentences, try your best to do it without any support, and then come back and I will give you the answers. So pause the recording now. Okay, what you should have as your answers are as follows. Tous les jours, après le collège, je regarde un film sur mon iPad et je mange mon dîner. Normalement, je mange de la viande avec des légumes parce que c'est sain. Je ne bois pas les boissons gazeuses parce que c'est mauvais pour les dents. Hier, après le collège, je suis sortie avec mes amis parce que c'est amusant. Nous sommes allés au cinéma et nous avons regardé un film qui s'appelle Batman. C'était divertissant. Le week-end prochain, je resterai chez moi parce que j'ai beaucoup de devoirs. Je finirai mes devoirs et puis je jouerai sur mon Xbox parce que ce sera relaxant. And that is the end of the video for the 3 tense practice.